We all want our money to work for us, right? To grow and build over time. But what if I told you there's a silent partner in your investments, one that's taking a cut every single year, compounding its share right alongside your wealth? Well, today, we're going to unmask this compounding thief. So let me just ask you this straight up. Is your investment portfolio growing as fast as it possibly could be? It seems like a simple question, but the answer? Well, it's a lot more shocking than you might think. See, the real difference between good growth and truly great growth often comes down to one tiny little detail that most of us completely overlook. We've all heard about the so-called magic of compounding. I think it was Einstein who supposedly called it the eighth wonder of the world. It's that amazing moment where your earnings start generating their own earnings. It's the engine, the absolute powerhouse behind long-term wealth. I mean, that's the dream, isn't it? You plant a small seed, you're patient, and over decades it grows into this massive financial oak tree. The whole process feels like it should just happen automatically. But here's the thing, it doesn't. What if someone was just siphoning off a tiny bit of water every single day? Or maybe trimming a few leaves every season? At first, you wouldn't even notice, but over the entire lifetime of that tree, the impact would be absolutely devastating. And that is the hidden threat we're talking about. So this culprit, it has a name. It's called the expense ratio. This is basically the annual fee that a fund charges you to manage your money. It's supposed to cover things like operational costs, maybe the manager's expertise, and it's almost always buried deep in the fine print. And here is the genius of the whole trick. 1%. It sounds like nothing, right? Just a penny on the dollar. You probably wouldn't even feel it. And that, right there, is the heart of the deception. Because that 1% isn't just a one-time thing. Oh no, it's taken from your entire portfolio every single year. It's a thief that doesn't just steal from you today, it steals your future growth. This is the compounding thief. So to really see this thief in action, let's run a little simulation. We're going to compare two identical portfolios side by side just to see what that 1% fee really costs you over the long haul. Okay, the setup is super simple. We've got two identical $10,000 portfolios. We're going to let them grow for 40 years, and let's say they both earn a solid 7% annual return before any fees. The only difference? One has that 1% expense ratio, and the other has a much lower 0.1% fee. After just 10 years, you can already see a small gap starting to appear. The low-fee fund is already pulling ahead. Now, it's not a massive difference yet, a few $1,000s. It's annoying for sure, but maybe not life-changing. But just you wait. Now let's fast forward to the 25-year mark. And wow, okay, the destructive power of that little fee is becoming crystal clear. That small gap has widened into a serious chasm. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars now, enough to buy a brand new car. See? The thief is getting bolder. And finally, after the full 40 years, the difference is just staggering. It's not a gap anymore. It's a completely different financial reality. These two investors started in the exact same position with the exact same money, but that seemingly tiny 1% fee created two totally different outcomes. So, what's the final damage? Let's put a hard number on it. Over those 40 years, that tiny little difference in fees has cost the investor more than $105,000. Just let that sink in for a second. And listen, that is not just a number on a screen. That's years of your retirement. That's your financial freedom. That's a legacy for your family. Stolen. Quietly. 1% at a time. This is probably the biggest heist you'll never even see coming. But here's the really good news. You are not helpless against this. Not at all. You can fight back. You can actually defend your portfolio with a really simple but incredibly powerful shield. And your shield is the low-cost index fund. See, instead of paying some expensive manager to try and beat the market, an index fund just tracks the market, like the S&P 500. It's all automated and simple, and that's what makes it so incredibly cheap to own. I mean, just look at them head to head. On one side, you've got these complex, expensive funds with a truly devastating long-term impact. And on the other, a simple fund with minimal fees that lets you keep pretty much all of your growth. When you see it laid out like this, the choice is, well, it's pretty obvious, right? Okay, so how do you actually find this number for your own investments? It's really simple. Just grab your latest investment statement or log into your account online. You're looking for a line item that says expense ratio, or just ER. And then just ask yourself, is the number you're looking at closer to 1% or 0.1%? Now you know exactly what to look for. All right, so let's bring it all home. What's the final verdict here? What's the one thing you really need to take away from all this? Well, it really comes down to this. We spend so much of our time looking at a fund's past performance, but that's no guarantee of what's going to happen in the future. The one thing that is absolutely 100% guaranteed to affect your returns year in and year out is the constant drag of fees. If you can control your costs, you control your financial future. It's that simple. You know, we all worry about the big, noisy threats, right? Market crashes, recessions, things like that. But so often, the biggest danger to our wealth is the slow, silent, invisible drain that's happening right under our noses. But here's the thing. For you, that drain isn't invisible anymore. Now you can see the thief, you know how it operates, and you know how to stop it. So the only question left is, what are you going to do about it?